Hey everyone, it's Gilbert K here, where creativity meets passion. This is your space to celebrate the storytellers, dreamers, and artists shaping the magic of film. Let's dive into the brilliance that makes your stories unforgettable. Joining us today is an award winning producer with 42 accolades to her name, including Best Film at the Glendale International Film Festival and Best Producer at LIFA. With over 32 successful projects, Sabrina is a true industry blazer, known for delivering productions on time and on budget. Now starring as a producer and lead actress in the feature film Living the Dream, she's on a mission to inspire and uplift through her films. Let's welcome the incredible Sabrina Percario. Hey Sabrina, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Gilbert, for this invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. Very happy to share my journey.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for me on the show. Before we dive in, let's take a moment to watch a clip from your reel.
Things can't keep progressing this way.
There is no need.
Need? For?
Any of it. No apologies, nor progress. Doesn't really concern you.
Concern me?
You don't know my pain.
I'm the only one who knows.
I wish. All I want is to have love.
Okay, let me start a little bit about a few questions here. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what sparked your interest in producing and acting.
Well, I'm originally from Brazil. I spent most of my life in São Paulo. Back then, I didn't do anything related to the film industry. I was in the biomedicine, acupuncture career. But what made me come to LA was I wanted to improve my ability to communicate. So I went for acting school. I fell in love with acting. I think for me it was an opportunity to know more about myself. And you know, when you're studying a character, you put yourself in someone else's place and then you learn more about others. So for me it was fascinating. So I was granted with a scholarship in 2014, moving to LA. I did my MFA in fine arts, in acting for film. And I became a producer mainly to cast myself, because after graduating, I faced the difficulties of any actor, right? How you're gonna get cast. Out of 10 auditions, maybe you get cast to one of them. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna start being proactive. I knew so many people for the film industry, and I decided to reach out to directors and writers. And you know, my personality, I'm super organized. I love a spreadsheet. So naturally, I became a producer. I learned by doing. And thank God for all that, you know, network, I was able to create a really good team.
Okay, that's great. And what was one of your most memorable experience when starting out?
I think I have a passion for a very close project. The title is Julia, and it was my first project. It was a tribute to my mom. She passed away in 2014, the year I came to LA. And you know, before she passed away, her last thing that she told me is like, Sabrina, I've seen it. You're gonna make it. And at that time, I did my first composition. I wrote a song in the piano. And 2 years later, when I did Julia, I used that song as a soundtrack. So that's the magic of creating process. And when I was shooting that project, you know, one of my mentors, he told me, oh, you shouldn't do this. It's very personal. And I said, I'm not doing this to anyone but myself. I need to express how I feel. I want to share my gratitude to my mom. And thank God I was very determined, you know, because that opened so many doors. I got awards for that film, for best music, for best acting, best film, and you know, from there, I feel like that's the reason I'm still here.
Wow, that's amazing. And how did you describe yourself in 3 words?
Stubborn, I mean, determined. um,
I guess you have to be in this industry, right?
you
You have to be
have
determined.
to.
Yeah,
I'm a people person.
yeah,
I care about human behavior, and I'm very caring.
yeah. Okay. I think all these things you need in filmmaking for sure, especially people skills, right? On set and outside, and organizing and coordinating. What's one of the most fact the what one fact about you that most people might know?
Well, I like to connect people, and it's not just about bringing the right crew when you're building a team, but it's how you're gonna connect them, because sometimes you have someone that is talent, but not necessarily they work well with another person. So
Yeah.
my skill, it's like a dating app. You know, being a producer is like having your own dating app, like finding the mix and match and the right people that will communicate well. And of course, I always follow the hierarchy. Let's say you as a director, you hire me to produce your project. I will ask you, who is your DP? And then from there I will go, okay, if you don't have a DP, then I'll, you know, try to bring my own people. But if you have someone that you already work with and you have that good chemistry, then I follow the hierarchy, go to the DP, who is your gaffer, and so on. So I always try to find the right person. And you know, LA, it's very international, and many times I was on set with an international cast and crew, and I always, you know, try to, you know, I always tell people, English, everyone, let's have one language in common, because you can have this group talking Portuguese, you can have this group talking in Hindi, and so on. So it's very important to have good communication. So I
Common
think
language.
that's
Yeah.
exactly.
So are you a type of producer who is hands on, or you trust? I don't want to say trust, but you let people do their job, or what kind of producer are you?
That's a very good question, because I would say both.
Okay.
Both, because depend on the budget. If I'm doing a very low budget and I have a skeleton crew, a small crew that I trust and I know they know what they're doing, but sometimes, like in the past, I was the producer, but then I was also the second ACs, you know, slating,
Yeah.
and I also help with the camera department, or depending on where it's needed. But if I have a solid budget, which is difficult,
Yeah.
but if I have a good team, and you know, then I let them have fun. You know, I let them do their job. But if it's needed, I jump in with no problem. Of course, I know my skills, and I know sometimes I'm like, okay, I won't do this. I don't know how
Yeah.
to do sound.
Yeah. That's great. So just to move away from producing and acting, what kind of hobbies do you have, and what do you do for fun?
I like to play. Recently, I'm learning to play harmonium,
Okay.
the Indian instrument,
Oh wow.
because on my daily basis I meditate. That's one of the tools that it's a must in my life for anything that I do. If I'm producing, if I'm acting, if I'm doing my current job, I feel like it's needed. So meditating, it's my passion, not necessarily a hobby. But harmonium is a passion. It's a hobby that I'm learning how to play that.
Wow.
Recently, we got a microphone and we are singing at home. Sorry,
Oh.
neighbors. I'm no good. Um, but yeah, mainly, you know, hiking,
Yeah.
walking, bicycling, anything outdoor.
Yeah. So my next segment is a small game we play on the show usually. It's called This or That. In this fun game, I'll show you two options. I'll give you two options, and you have to pick one that you like the most or the one that fits you better. There are no wrong answers, and you don't need to explain your choice unless you want to. It's all about quick, fun decisions to show us more about you. Um, okay, let's go. So, big budget or no budget?
Big budget.
Funny bloopers or serious commentary?
Funny bloopers.
Uh, Actors stick to script or goes off the rail?
Oh, I don't know any of those.
The
Number one.
actor sticks to a script or goes off the rails?
Okay, I see. Actors stick to the script. Yeah.
The script.
Yeah.
Professional. Okay, famous lead or unknown rookie?
Unknown rookie.
Crazy deadline or endless fixes?
Crazy deadline.
Epic score or cool soundtrack?
Cool soundtrack.
Real effects or all CGI?
Really fact.
Heavy drama or goofy comedy?
Goofy comedy.
Uh, cool locations or fake sets?
Fake sets makes my life easier.
Big premiere or straight to streaming?
Big premiere, yeah, you can, dress.
Let's show our audience another clip from your reel.
So what you gonna do about it?
What am I gonna do?
I ain't got till tomorrow.
Let me give you a little tip. The trick, Angel, is not to have a lawyer who makes no mistakes, but to get a lawyer who A, makes the least mistakes, and B, is green enough or masochistic enough to actually give a shit.
So which one are you?
Me? I'm neither.
Okay, let's move on to the next bunch of questions. So, can you tell me about the journey or inspiration behind a project or work that you've done?
The journey of inspiration. Well, I can tell you something. In 2023, I produced a feature film titled A Halloween Feast, along with Gilbert K and Lou D'Amato. And my inspiration was, first, I don't say yes to a project if I'm not excited about it. Either I'm passionate about the script or I care who is involved. And as you know, as a filmmaker, I'm all about creating projects that, bring awareness, touch people's hearts. But this project in particular was kind of like a dark comedy. So I told my friend, this is not my cup of tea, but because I believe in you and because you're such a good writer, such a good actor, I'm going to help you. So I was completely excited about it. Then my excitement during the project was the budget was very challenged. And, those guys, they raised funds and they tried their best to raise as much as they could. So my goal was to stick to the budget. And I think the challenge is to combine bringing the talent, like I was telling before, but also negotiate. And, coming from a Brazilian, Italian family, I learned how to negotiate. I don't accept, when I get a quote from a DP, I always cry for a little bit more. Oh, can you make, your labor combined with your package? Can we squeeze in a little bit more equipment? So I always try to do really good negotiations. And I'm very lucky because, the team that I have around me, they already know that as a producer, I pay them on time and I appreciate their work and I value their talent. So many times they say yes to my discount. And so I like to really, and it's a responsibility, right? You don't want to go over budget. Then what about the friend who is trusting you to deliver the project, and then you're going to tell them, well, you're not going to be able to make your film unless you put more money, or it's like a puzzle. And I try to combine locations as well to save money. That's why I said studios are the best, because you can, in one location, you can be in 3, 4 different places. And that makes my life easier.
Yeah. So how do you balance between producing and acting at the same time? So have you, probably you've worked on projects, you're doing both roles at the same time. And some people, they do like 3 roles: directing, producing, and acting. How do you balance that?
It's hard, and I think sometimes one of the departments ended up not being completely well. So what I do when I'm producing and acting the project, I tend to either have a small role, not the lead role. I wouldn't produce and be the lead. If I'm the lead, I'm gonna bring a producer that I trust. So pre-production, yes, I'm gonna be 100% involved in all the logistics, contracts, finding locations, budget, permits, and all that. But during the actual principal photography, during production, then I bring a producer that I trust, so I can have fun as an actor.
Yeah.
And then post-production, then I'm back again, being very picky, who's going to be my sound, who's going to be my editor, and so
Yeah.
then that's fine.
So as a producer, do you select your cast, or you let the director do that?
That depends on who the baby is, you know.
Okay.
If the director created the project, I let them choose whoever he feels comfortable. But if it's, you know, if it's my personal project, I'm going to be very picky.
Yeah, because it's your baby. Yes.
Including the director. I'm going to choose the director and everyone else, right?
So we've talked a lot about producing. How do you tackle a project as an actress? Like, what do you do? How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, no, that's very nice. Usually, depends. If it's a drama, it's a different preparation. If it's a comedy, it's different approach. But mainly, I read the script many times. So first time I'm reading as an audience, just to get the idea of the story. Then the second time that I'm reading, I'm highlighting my actions, you know. So then I can start thinking in my mind, my movement, and try to navigate. Then the third time, I highlight the things that I know it's going to be a challenge for me, like cry on cue, or a dramatic scene that I have to be very this and that. Then after reading many times, of course, I sit down with my director and I ask a bunch of questions. And once I know exactly my blocking, once I know what I need to do, I know my objective, I already did the scene arc, and the relationship with the other actors, once everything is clear, when I'm on set, I always communicate with my director. I'm like, listen, on this take, I know that we're shooting this scene. I need 20 minutes. So let me know. And I talk to the AD as well. I talk to the director and AD. Whenever you guys are ready to shoot this scene, I need at least 20 minutes. Can you let me know in advance so I can go to my cave, lock myself, and then do my meditation, whatever I need to do, right? Because if they don't know that I need that kind of preparation on set, they are ready, but might not be ready. And that happens before, right? Then I'm like, shoot, how do I do this now, right? So I learned by doing that, the best thing is to communicate. And sometimes it happens where, you know, they don't have that time, I don't have the time, and you gotta go. So then I try to be as honest as I can. You know, especially if I have to cry, I'm not gonna try to pretend that I'm crying. Yeah. I'm gonna feel the emotion, I'm gonna deliver that intention, but I'm okay if the tears don't come out, that's fine too. Yeah. You know, because then if I try to do that, it's gonna be worse. I'm not gonna bring an onion and then, okay, action. You know, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I met somebody, an actress. What she does, which is a no-no. Don't ever do that. For anybody who's watching, don't ever do that. She puts alcohol close to her eye, and basically it stinks, and she starts crying. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, I like to use music. Music, it
Yeah,
really activates me,
lots of
like
people do
right
that.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of people do that actually. So, what was one of the expected challenges you faced when you got started? Probably you already touched on it, but if you want to talk a little bit more details about that.
Right. In the beginning, you're insecure and you don't know if you're good or not. I still don't know
Yeah.
if I'm good or not, but in the beginning, when I was doing Julia, especially such a close project, talking about my mom,
Hmm.
I remember on set, there was this particular scene that the actress who was playing my mom, she had to hug me. And I was so irritated. I remember like we did like 3 or 4 takes and nothing was working. And I sat down with the director and I said, okay, I'm going to go to this room and I'm going to meditate. Give me a few minutes to realize what's going on, because why this is not working? Why am I angry when it's supposed to be such a tender and heartbreaking scene?
Yeah.
And then I realized, of course, it's not good. I mean, she will never hug me as my mom.
Hmm.
Then when I had the realization, like I went to do that scene again and accept whatever the actress was offering me, and it was beautiful,
Hmm.
And so then it was like a aha moment where I had to accept. And many times as an actor, we become very self-conscious and very picky. We want to bring the best, and it's about letting go. It's about, you can be as prepared as you can. You can do all the highlights and all the rehearsals. When you're there, it's almost like a stage. It's live. You
Hmm.
don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know what's going to happen. So don't try to control everything. Be
Yeah.
very present. I try to be very present. But I tell myself now, in the beginning, it was different.
What do you think about AI, and how do you see the future of filmmaking evolving? And are you worried or scared about AI?
So either we like it or not, it's here, right? Technology, we're developing, and and I can answer with 2 different approaches. As a producer, I think it's great. It's gonna automate things. It's gonna make things faster and cheaper, maybe. As an actor, it can be challenged because now they can reproduce your face and your voice and everything. They can cry on cue.
Yeah.
But then what about the human aspect of that energy, the essence, you can't substitute that.
The
But I
feelings.
think,
Yeah.
but I think as a professional, either we like it or not, some people might say, "Oh, we're going to lose jobs. This role might not exist anymore." We have to adapt. We have to think, okay, now what can I do? And again, it's all back to, why do you want to be an actor? Why do you want to be a filmmaker in the first place? My objective is to be a storyteller, to create content to inspire people. If in the future I'm not going to act anymore for whatever reason, that's fine by me. I'm talking about just Sabrina. Because my goal is to create inspiring stories. I can still create inspiring stories, but if for some people their goal is to be an actor and be on stage because they want to be famous or because of whatever reason, then ask yourself, join forces. How can you use the AI together? Learn the tool and learn to make your life better. But I don't have all the answers, and I think I'm very optimistic. I think the future is bright. I always hope for the best, and I trust.
Okay. So let's move on to another game of this and that. Okay. Ready, Sabrina?
Yes, ice cream. I'm sorry. Did you ask?
Ice cream or gelato?
Gelato.
Gelato. Cheesecake or chocolate cake?
Cheesecake.
Cookies or brownies?
Brownie.
Pie or tart?
Pie.
Donuts or muffins?
Oh boy. Damn it.
Well, both.
Both.
Cupcakes or macarons?
Macarons.
Pudding or mousse?
None.
Fruit salad or fruit sorbet?
A fruit salad.
Cinnamon roll or croissant?
Croissant.
Milkshake or smoothie?
Smooth.
Smooth.
You're hungry when you created this game. Good.
So, what one piece of advice would you give to someone interested in producing and acting, like to all the upcoming new filmmakers or students or kids? What do you tell them? What kind of advice?
You have to be determined because you're going to hear so many no's from investors, from casting agents, from the world, right? So believe in yourself, do what you love, and keep going. Don't, being determined is the key. Because if you give power to what people say, you're going to give up in the first challenge. And be a problem solver, find solutions. We're going to have hiccups, we're going to have all the difficulties. Then sometimes difficult can be a blessing. Sometimes that difficult can bring another approach of seeing things, and then you find amazing solutions, amazing ideas, right? Because if you have all the money and all the time, yeah, that's good. Yeah. But that challenge makes you get out of that comfortable zone, and then you find maybe a creative thing that you're not even thinking.
Yeah.
So
it pushes you more to be more creative.
It pushes you more.
Yeah, pushes you more to be creative. Can you share a moment when you faced a significant obstacle and how you overcame it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's significant obstacle, but I've been to so many obstacles. I think the one that I can think of, and thank God for the fact that I speak Spanish. Portuñol is like Spanglish, Portuguese and Spanish, but that's very handy. I was in LA shooting, and then my next door neighbor was with the loud music, and we were shooting. We were on a budget. We were on a clock. And then I used my best Spanish. Hola, señor, ¿cómo estás? Soy brasileña. I'm Brazilian. And I think, because I was so friendly and I tried to explain, of course, he put the music down. But that day, he didn't open the door because we were shooting for 1 week in a row. So I'm like, okay, so what do? The music's still going on. Focus on the solution. So I went to my sound guy and I said, okay, on post, is this gonna be too much? Do we need to stop production? Can we carry on? And then I trust him, right? So my sound guy said, yes, we can carry on. But I was ready to maybe talk to my director and ask him, you know what, can we do another scene? Is there any inserts or establishing shots? Can we do something different than what we're doing right now so we can keep going? Mm-hmm. So I think having that holistic vision and understanding each department, you play your cards. Okay, this is not working right now. Let me try something different. And same thing with an actor, right? One time the actor wasn't feeling well. Without the actor, then what else can you do? Again, can you do inserts? Can you do establishing shots? You know what I did? I used my skill as an acupuncturist. Oh, wow. And I treated the actor on set, backstage. Of course, I asked for permission, and I did my acupuncture session. Actor in 30 minutes was feeling good, and he was back on set.
So what's one common misconception about producing and acting, and that you'd like to clear up?
Well, the misconception for producers is that the producers are tough and they only care about the budget. Yes, that's true, but we also care about our crew. At least I am. I'm like a mommy, like they are my kids.
Yeah.
I go to each department. How do you feel? Do you have everything that you need? Do I need to order more gaff tape? I don't know. Like I always ask each department. I really care about them.
Yeah.
And as an actor, being a diva, that's not true. I know so many talent actors, they are hands-on, and that's because they know the behind the scenes. They know what it takes to create the whole circus. So they're not diva because they appreciate everyone's time. They don't mess up with continuity. They memorize their lines. They respect the writer so they don't come up with different words and all. So for those actors, my hat's off to you. I respect you. I know you're not a diva. For those who are diva, how about you trying to be on behind this camera and understand what happens in each department? You will appreciate much more.
Yeah, learn about the behind the scenes, what's going on.
Yeah.
There's lots of people working hard to.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm 5'3". Can you imagine me carrying sandbags and C-stand? I'm like shaky and trying to do, but I do what I need to do.
Are there any tools or strategies you find indispensable in your work? What tools do you use and you can't let go?
Tools, you have to have I mean, I'm not gonna promote any software or program, but definitely a spreadsheet, so you can manage your budget. And if you don't, I think a clock is an important tool to manage your time. Either you're managing with your AD or you're managing how many weeks you need until you start shooting, or even as an actor, how long do you need to be prepared? So a clock and always use alarms. It's very important.
And how do you stay motivated and inspired, especially during challenging times?
Meditation. I think that's my key to everything. When I'm stressed, when I'm discouraged, and when, of course, I have a team that we constantly nurture each other. We are, checking each other. Hey, how is your project? And it's a good thing that we do. I have my business partner, Raja Deka. We have Touch Alive Productions. And constantly we are reminding each other, Sabrina, why we're doing this again? Oh yeah, that's right, because we want to inspire people. So that why is our fuel, it's our motivation, but on a personal level, meditation.
Okay, so let's watch a final clip from your reel.
We didn't have much in common. And our last year together, I felt that I need to be someone else for you to like me.
Okay, is there one last thought or piece of advice you'd like to share with our listeners and audience?
Yes, no, and I'm going to quote my business partner, Raja Deka. His parents used to say that to them. Their parents used to tell him, there's only one like you in this world. So you are unique. Trust your skills, your talent. Believe in yourself. Do what you love. And I'm here for you.
That's a good one. Is there a dream project or collaboration you're still hoping for?
Yes. Oh, yes. So right now we have 2 babies, living the dream and happy. And those are 2 feature films that are from a Touch Alive Productions that Raja and I we're trying to remove from the paper to the screen. And we are putting more energy. It's all about strategy. So initially we were bringing full force to living the dream. That's still happening, but now we are bringing energy to happy because it's all about momentum and the investors you have around you. So I think our goal is by mid-July to bring a name to our project.
Oh, wow.
And if we have that name, then we're going to have another interview coming soon.
Of course, you're welcome anytime, Miss Sabrina. That's amazing. That's amazing. Which genre do you secretly wish you could explore more?
Sci-fi.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I love, anything that it's beyond. I'm not from this planet to begin with.
I didn't hear that.
So I can play myself. I'm excited about sci-fi. I love it.
Cool. Do you have anything in particular? What kind of sci-fi do you watch?
Ooh, Dark. It's a German show. Beautiful. I love that show. So you can watch that.
So how can our audience connect with you or learn more about your work? Where can they find you?
You'll be surprised. I'm a little bit introvert.
Okay.
I'm not in gazillion platforms and websites and here and there. But yes, you can find me on IMDb.
Yeah.
As Sabrina Percario. You can find me on touchalifeproduction.com. And you can find me on Facebook, Sabrina Percario. And that's enough, because that you can email me and I always reply.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Who would you like to thank or acknowledge for supporting you in your journey?
Gilbert K. Thank you for this opportunity, for this interview. But of course, besides this opportunity, I want to say thank you to my family for always believing in me. They are in Brazil with their flag. Sabrina, we are cheering for you. My business partner for believing in me, and we decided to join forces. And my partner in life, Chinmay Patel, which I have so much love in my heart.
That's amazing. And finally, I know you mentioned it. You mentioned it already. So what's next for you other than the two films you're working on? Is there anything else? Project, travels, or?
Yeah, I think my next project will be the one you're gonna cast me.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. So that's all, folks. Sabrina Percario, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on this journey into the heart of artistry in the film industry. And whether you're in front of the camera, behind it, or bringing story to life in countless other ways, remember this. Every great moment in the arts starts with passion, persistence, and the courage to create. Your voice, your vision, your craft, it all matters. And it all shapes the stories the world needs to see. Until next time, stay inspired, stay driven, and keep pushing the boundaries what's possible. The future of film is in your hands. See you soon. Gilbert K. out.